Hello and welcome to Nerd BS. And thank you for joining us. It is me and Kyle today. Well, me as an Alan, and we have Kyle over here.
Hey everybody, how you doing?
That was a rocky start. Tomas isn't joining us tonight. He's not feeling
Yeah,
well, so hopefully he's feeling a little better after today, and he can join us next week. But how you doing, by the way? Why don't we get with that?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. And yeah, I hope Tomas, if you hear this, we love you, we miss you. Get better, dude. But yeah, like we were saying just before we hit the record button, I'm almost to spring break on my job because I work for a school and I still get spring break. And so what that means is I don't know, maybe a half hour extra sleep because I have little kids too. But it's spring break, dude. So next week's spring break. I'm looking forward to it.
Hey, there you go.
How are you?
Got any plans? You gonna hit the beach?
Uh,
I'm doing good.
no beach. Probably no beach till summer, but we will go out and about. Who knows where? Probably not too far.
Ah, I think we're going to the beach this weekend. Actually, where my son's already on spring break, so
Nice.
we have that going on. So we are planning on going to the beach this weekend. As so that's gonna be interesting. I'm at the beach in quite a while actually. I don't know when the last time I actually went out to the
You didn't
coast.
go last summer?
If you don't know, we're in no, well, because last summer was like still
Yeah,
pandemic-y.
we did.
Like
We
even
had to.
now, technically, it's still we're in. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I'm not gonna knock anybody who does. I mean, if anything, that's one of the more safer activities to
Exactly.
do. I mean, and outside and everything. But I don't really care for the beach that
That's
much,
right.
or just large
Your
crowds
skin
and
doesn't
stuff.
agree
So
with
I
it
just was
either.
like, eh. Yeah, I'm not my complexion does not fare well in the the beating
Those
sun.
UV rays.
But
Well, enjoy. I hope you enjoy it when
and
you go.
yeah, I hope I do too. 'Cause it's been a while, so I mean, maybe I just know the last time I didn't. I don't remember enjoying it. Also, like being all sticky after the salt water and everything,
Mm.
and driving home with the sand in every
Oh,
crevice.
I love it.
It drives me
I
crazy.
love it.
Uh, just love that sand
Not
right
so
in those
much. Not so much
crevices.
the sand, but
Uh,
everything else. The smell of it. It's good.
yeah, I guess so. The saltwater air has always been nice, but anyways, I hope I hope I have a good time. Hope you have a good time on your break as well. But
Thanks, man.
we got some. But if you wanna talk to us about our beach trips and whatnot, and join our Discord, feel free to contact us at nerdbackstory@gmail.com, or our Twitter at nerd_BS, or my Twitter at scadmatrix. And I think Kyle has a couple plugs
I
here.
just
What do
got
you got,
one.
Kyle?
I'm on Instagram, skybossin_video games. If you find me, you find me.
And we have quite a few more, and some of Tomas's uh, Twitter and whatever other social media stuff. We have it all in the description below, so feel free to go down there and check it out, and check us out and all of the social media junk. So with that behind us, something amazing happened on the 30th today, Wednesday. Something we talked about a little bit. Moon Knight finally found its way to Disney Plus. Uh,
Finally.
I mean, we didn't even talk about this, but I'll just mention it real quick. I don't know if you knew that all the Netflix shows
Dude,
have moved
I
over to Disney
saw
Plus
that.
finally.
I
The
saw
Marvel
that, and it's
ones.
like, you know what? Maybe it's
Yeah.
time to delete Netflix because what am I Well, I watched Space Force, but there's not much else.
Oh yeah, I've been watching I've been meaning to watch the new Space Force.
It's
I
so
haven't
good.
watched it yet.
Oh, I love that show. It's so good.
I love the first season, so I'm excited for the second
Yeah,
season.
it's
But anyways,
not
yeah,
quite as
they've all
good, but
finally moved
yeah,
over.
I did catch that on Disney though, and I was like, oh, you know what? I still haven't watched them, but it's on the list.
And now they've yeah, I haven't either. I kind of dipped out after Iron Fist. I think it was the
Mm,
last one I watched. It
hmm.
kind of it phased me out a little bit, and I just haven't gone back yet. But I've heard good
Yeah.
things.
So that means
Uh,
that it's tied in though, right? Like, and
I don't think so. I think it's this weird shady gray area
okay.
right now because we don't know. Like they're talking about Daredevil's potentially getting his a new season, but it's going to be like a soft
Oh yeah,
reboot.
yeah. Cause
So I think they might be
yeah.
stepping away
Well, I
from.
never mind. I won't spoil anything, but yeah, that would make sense. It's maybe like a one-off, those series kind of deal. It's like the comic books, right? Like,
Yeah,
you know what? That series didn't. That
yeah.
that
Also,
that run didn't work, so we're moving on. We're gonna reboot it.
yeah, they're not Earth 616, right? That's the
Oh my
primary Earth.
gosh.
Is it the? I
I know this
think
is
it's
nerd BS,
616.
but I don't know. I don't know that one.
I think that's accurate. I'm not going to look it up, so feel free to
Yeah,
comment or whatever and correct me if
email
I'm if
us.
I'm
Please
wrong.
email us on that
Uh,
one.
but I, but I, but I think that's the regular plane or whatever the
They're yeah,
normal one.
they're about to
But I
blow it up too with Loki. Whenever the next season of Loki comes out, they're
well, they already blew it up once with Spider-Man, and then
true.
Loki had its own season. You're right.
Well, Loki
They
was
did that
first.
started that whole
Yeah,
process.
Loki did start it. Yeah,
Yeah, you're
so
correct.
maybe the Doctor
But
Strange,
then Spider-Man kind of kept going.
uh,
Yeah.
which is fine.
So that's gonna be
I
interesting.
just
Then we got the Multiverse of Madness coming
that
out,
I
so
just hope that they don't like jump the shark with all that. Like, okay, because that's what it felt like with
I mean,
Loki.
how much more can they really jump the shark? I mean, we got it's already blown up,
Okay, this is
right?
how they jump the
We have
shark.
people coming in
I'll tell
everywhere.
you. I'll
Yeah,
tell you
I
right
would
now. This is
you'll
how
tell me?
this is when you know when that stinking crocodile on
Okay.
Loki gets his own series. That's when they jump the shark.
He got his own comic book.
Well,
I saw
it's
that.
we're one step away. we're one step away from
We're
that
getting
happening.
there.
That's when it's too
And I was
far,
about to spoil something from Hawkeye, but I
dude.
know
I
you just
start. Yeah,
started it, so I
thank
will
you.
leave that
And on
alone.
that note, I know we're supposed to talk about Moon Knight, but on that note, I'm in one episode into Hawkeye, and I'm kind of mad at myself for not watching it during Christmas because it's like centered around Christmas,
Yeah,
and I don't know, I just blew it. I wasn't feeling it during Christmas,
I know.
and now I'm
I
mad.
really, yeah, I know. I forgot that you hadn't watched it, but we had watched it around that time, and I was very happy we did. It gave me very much because I remember a long time ago when Batman Origins came out. I know, completely different topic.
The
Uh,
game?
I bought it like
Yo,
right
yeah,
when
yeah,
Christmas
the game,
started. Yeah,
yeah,
the game, and it was like perfect. I
yeah,
played it around the holidays.
uh
It
huh,
it just it synced up perfectly, and I got the same vibe when we watched Hawkeye during that time as well. The same.
yeah.
It was just a perfect setting
It really is,
and time
and so I
period.
hope it kind of ends, carries that on through the series as they finish it up. But because I might watch it again next year if that's the case.
I I think I would. I liked Hawkeye a lot,
Yeah,
so
that first
I
episode was
would
great.
probably watch it again.
I will admit though,
Mhm. And it doesn't
the action was
yeah,
a little flaky. It was the first time the action wasn't like,
really?
at least in the first episode. Yeah, it just was a little slow for me. Like it looked very choreographed, which it all is. But I've never watched a Marvel movie or show and been like, oh, that looks choreographed. I've always seen it and be like, that looks good. So we'll
Yeah,
see.
I don't remember that being the case, but, I mean, maybe I'll have to go back and revisit
Well,
it and
here's
see
the
if
thing.
I noticed anything. Because I know
It's Kate Bishop,
there's like
right?
a heavy side where I was like, "Have you watched" okay, so I'm sorry. Green
Yeah.
Arrow,
Uh huh.
super choreographed, and then you get Daredevil, which we just talked about a little bit, which was like which actually ruined that universe for me because of how amazing their choreography
Mm.
was. And went back to watch Green Arrow, and I was like, this is like ballet now.
Mm.
Like, what are you guys even doing anymore?
That's good.
Maybe Hawkeye's like somewhere in the middle. I don't know
It sounds
that
like
I
it
didn't
is.
notice it.
Well, here's the thing. It's Kate Bishop, which is cool, and I forgot the actress's name, but she does great. But it's just part of it is hard to see a little girl jump on top of a 6'10" dude who is jacked out of his mind and throw him like with her legs. Like you don't have that kind of momentum. Like she jumped like off the wall and then like wrapped her legs around his head and then throws him upside down. I'm like, you could do it, but you got to be jumping off like a train to have that kind of momentum to get that dude. So that's like part of it, right? Like, I was like, you can't throw
Yeah,
this physics alone. I'm not saying women aren't strong and can't do stuff, but what I'm saying is that little girl can't throw a dude that big, no matter how skilled she is. I'm sorry. So
yeah. I'll definitely have to watch it again to see if I notice that. I mean, I know she does a lot of heroic feats
yeah,
that are pretty extravagant. I mean, they're superheroes, even though they're human superheroes. They're still superheroes at the end
right,
of the day. So they're
exactly,
going to do some fantastical
right,
feats.
and yeah.
So I'll have to see if I
Did
catch
you
that
guys talk about it on an
as
episode I
heavily.
missed? Did you guys talk about Hawkeye that I wasn't on?
We talked about it a little bit, but we never I really wanted I think at the time we were saving it for, like, a good, just an episode dedicated to the
Okay,
series, but we also we're kinda we're struggling to get some times together to actually
right.
talk about things, so I think it sadly got pushed aside,
Okay,
and we just haven't gone back to it. Oh,
I'd be.
so we may
Yeah.
need to do that. Maybe we'll do that, next Christmas if,
Oh,
the
okay.
end of this year when, there's not a I'm willing to revisit it. I don't
I
know
would.
about
I
Tomas, but I know I am willing to
Yeah,
revisit
I
it.
think I would be even just after one episode. So we'll put that on the table.
Yeah, we'll see. But anyways, Moon Knight. So
Oop,
the other
oh,
Disney Marvel
I
show
thought
that
you were
just
gonna say
came out.
DC. I thought when.
I almost
Okay.
did. I almost did. But Disney, not
Yeah,
DC. Uh, but we have our protagonist, Steve, or portrayed by Oscar Isaac.
yeah,
Uh,
he's good.
so I didn't want to go. I'm not going to go into too many details. I'm not going to go into spoilers because I know Kyle has
I
not
haven't even
seen it,
seen it.
and so nobody needs to be fearful of that. I will say nothing really gets solved at all in the first episode. It's kind of like it just kind of introduces the world a little bit to you, and you basically don't understand anything by the end of
Oh,
it. I mean, it is the beginning of a series,
yeah,
but nothing is like
and a
explained.
brand
It
new
just a
hero,
lot of things happen.
right? It's not
Yeah.
Hawkeye. Hawkeye
So
already had his story
no,
like built in, so his series was just like let's hit the ground running. Moon Knight is brand new to the cinematic universe.
it was much darker. And now I'm starting to wonder though, because we had this discussion last time with the Mandalorian and not the Mandalorian, Boba
Mm-hmm.
Fett. And maybe the Mandalorian too. We didn't notice as much in Mandalorian, but in Boba Fett or the Star Wars shows that we've been seeing, uh, the lack of blood
Oh yeah,
or gore.
I
Um,
hadn't noticed it
so I
though
bring that
till
up
you
because in
mentioned
Moon
it,
Knight,
but it's very clear. It's very
yeah,
clear.
but Marvel seems to get a pass. I don't know how Marvel gets away with it, but Moon Knight, there's quite a bit of blood. Not a lot, not like an overextent of it, but there is a bit. Like there's a couple sections where it's definitely showing it.
Hmm.
So I'm curious why the Marvel seems to get a pass on this uh, over Star Wars. Also, my wife brought up to me when we were out today and discussing it that apparently they have gone back and edited Falcon and Winter Soldier and removed some of the
Oh,
blood. Uh,
really?
so I haven't looked into it too deeply,
Forgot about
but
that
it
show.
just kind of made me think. I loved
It
that
was
show as
good,
well,
but
but
I'm not saying like it's bad. I just completely forgot about it.
yeah. But yeah, but so they removed some of it. It sounds like it's from not the scene that most people would assume it's
Right. I
from.
was thinking with
The
Captain,
one where he
the
snaps.
fake Captain. Yeah,
Exactly. That's where most people would
yeah.
assume.
That's what I was thinking.
But it's not from that scene. It's from somewhere else.
Hmm.
So I'd have to look into it, but I'm not going to do that now.
Yeah.
But Moon Knight also has some blood, and so that was
Well,
interesting.
did you
My
notice
family kind of got a Venom. Yeah.
when you turn on Disney Plus? Did you get the whole like, hey, do you want to change your settings? Or
I did not get that. I heard
Yeah,
about
so it
it, but
did
I
for
never saw it
me,
on my end. I don't know.
and because mine's
Yeah, I did get an option to like add a password though,
oh, so maybe that
which
was
was
it.
weird.
Maybe we have a password, and it was basically like, do you want to
Yeah.
turn off like kids mode or not? And I was like, well, I have kids, so no, don't turn it off yet.
My son is still on kids mode. I think we made him a kids mode account.
Well,
But I
here's
think
what
I
it
might
was.
turn it off.
It
I mean,
wouldn't.
he's already 14
It
now.
showed me too. It was really well done. Like if you highlighted turn it off, all the those Marvel shows we were talking about became available. Like it was like, and then if you slid it
Yeah.
over and said no, keep it on, it blurred them out. Like, well, you don't get those old Netflix Marvel shows though. It's like I don't. That's fine. So yeah,
Yeah, that's what I was told. I mean, they're there, so if you wanna watch it,
that's
you could just go
well
turn it
exactly.
off and go watch it.
That's why I thought
It's
it was
not
like,
gonna. Yeah.
but I don't want my 2 year old to who can use the remote, not well, but he can use it. And I don't want him to actually click something and then be scarred for life like I was as a young boy.
Yeah.
But that'll be for
Um,
another
but
podcast.
anyways, back to Moon Knight a little bit just to finish it up. I was just gonna say that my family seemed to get a Venom vibe
Hmm.
from the overarching dialogue and
Hmm.
the conversations between Steve and um, his other
Alt-
one of his other
alter egos.
parts. Uh, yeah, which is interesting, and I could see it. Um,
God, I
but yeah,
still need to see
check it
that
out. It's
movie
very good.
too, dude.
I enjoyed it.
I still haven't seen that number two,
Which movie?
Venom.
Oh, Venom. Yeah, the new
I
Venom.
keep forgetting about it.
Carnage.
That one's got
Yeah,
to be streaming somewhere, right?
it was fun. Fun movie. I'd check
Yeah,
it
I
out,
want to.
especially if you like the first Venom. They ain't too deep. They're just a good
Yeah.
time. Uh, yeah. So the Netflix. Yeah, like you said, the Netflix ones are covered by those. That's pretty cool. I'm wondering if this will lead us into. I know this is on the outline of the thing. Because now so I figured out that well, I didn't figure I figured it
You
out.
did it.
Disney bought Fox. Yeah, I know. I solved the
Well,
puzzle.
dude, I
Uh,
mean, it's not news anymore, so people forget. It's kind of interesting
yeah,
how that.
but the Alien movies have come up on my
Uh
radar
huh.
again, and so I started wondering like what are they gonna do with the Alien movies?
Hmm.
Like they're a big deal. Like that seems like a place for them, like this adult
Are
section
they
of Disney
Fox?
Plus. I know.
The Alien movies?
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
okay.
owned by Fox. So, yeah, the Alien
Hmm.
movies. So, it's just another thing because that was the joke when it came out, like, the Xenomorph is the next Disney
Oh,
princess and stuff like that. That was coming
that's
out for
good.
a bit.
That's a good one.
But, yeah, so I'm curious what they're gonna do. I just found out recently that apparently I think Disney owns Stars. I'm not sure
Oh my
yet. I gotta
gosh.
figure that all out. There's
No,
a
we were
whole
just talking about that.
all the webs.
We
Yeah,
were like, good for
it's
stars.
it's madness. I could be
They're
mistaken.
gonna they're gonna do it.
Yeah, I
The
know.
underdogs. Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
Email us if we're wrong.
yeah. Yeah, we could be wrong. Yeah, feel free to comment and just shut us down. Uh, but now that we've talked about some Marvel, let's move over to some DC. Speaking of DC, the Batman. Kyle has also not watched the Batman, but the
No, I
Batman has
refuse.
come and is yeah, you
I won't
fuse.
watch it.
It's
No. Yeah.
it's a good one, but we had a full podcast about it like an episode ago, so check that out. But I just wanted to talk about the deleted scene real quick. Um, for those that don't know, uh, I hate spoiling this for you, but it's not really that big of a
It's not.
deal.
I watched it.
But there's like a small bit of a Joker thing at the end.
Yeah.
And apparently there was a deleted scene that was put. We talked about it. I actually brought up the deleted scene in the episode that it supposedly existed. Well, guess what? It existed, and it was leaked, or shown, or whatever. I don't
Yeah.
know
Who
exactly what
knows
happened.
anymore?
It's a good scene. It shows off a new Joker.
Yeah.
I thought it
Reminiscent
was.
of the Heath Ledger's Joker, though.
Oh, you actually
Yeah,
watched the
I
deleted
watched the
scene?
deleted. I mean,
Okay.
I skimmed through it. I got the vibe.
Yeah. Yeah, first of all, I'm glad they cut it. It didn't need to be in the
Hmm.
movie. It made no sense. I mean, it would have been there. It was a 3-hour
Oh my
movie.
gosh.
I mean, why do we need?
Yeah,
Yeah, why do we
we
need
don't need that many Easter eggs.
there's yeah, you didn't need it. It was
So yeah,
fine.
good cut
It was
then.
an interesting scene. It was a good scene, but definitely it didn't need it.
Yeah, that's the one where you
So this new Joker,
when you get the Blu-ray or the 4K DVD now, that's the one where you put them all in and you go, okay, now you can watch it all together and be like, oh, okay, I get what you're going for, but it took 4 hours to get there, right? Like now we're back to the
yeah,
Snyder cut.
exactly. Um, it's a great scene. I think it would have been a really good trailer for like or
Hmm.
teaser for the
Hmm.
next Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Like if
I
they
could
were
see that.
gonna do a Joker for the that one, I think that would have been a good teaser. Because they still kind of kept him hidden. He definitely kind of has
Yeah.
a New 52 vibe about him. Much more gory. I've heard Heath Ledger a couple times now. You just said it, and then
Well,
somebody else I was
that's a
talking to
just
also said
the
the same thing.
his
Like they're kind
look.
of going for that vibe.
Even though he's hidden, like you said, and like a little
Yeah,
bit blurry,
a little more
but
grotesque.
you could see that
Yeah.
that's kind of like the inspiration.
I could see that. It's obviously it definitely looked like makeup, even though there was obviously some sort of acid damage or whatever on him uh, to deform his face.
Damage.
But it's a cool scene. I will say, even if it was fine to be cut, I still think it's a really cool scene.
Yeah, it was. I
Um,
haven't even seen the
but yeah,
movie,
so
so I thought it was kind of cool.
yeah, the movie's really good. I really look forward to your opinions on it when you see it,
Yeah,
and how much you
I
actually like it. Because
really
this is
want to
definitely
see it. I know I said earlier I refuse. I really want to see it. It hasn't been in the cards. And that's not one that the wife
yeah.
wants to go see. And if I go to the movies right now without my wife, it's not going to be good. So she wanted to see Spider Man. I think we talked about that before,
Yeah.
but not she's not into the Batman.
hmm Not in the Batman.
No.
Yeah, I wanted to go see it again. Like I debated it. I was like, I could try to go see it IMAX. Like that would give me
Ooh.
a different, vantage point, but to justify it. But I have to keep. I just like no, 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 no. It's gonna be out, then I can watch it as many times as I want.
Yeah.
On like I think it's April 19th.
Yeah.
I keep saying I think that's when is coming out. Uh, and then I can just watch it all I want. And biggest, I think I don't. I think I did say my thing. Biggest problem with it, it's too dark. That's all. I'll leave it
Like
there. It's too
literally.
dark. Not the tone, just literally too dark.
Yeah,
Sometimes
I
it's
got
hard to
that
see.
feeling in
Just
the trailers. I honestly thought that. I was like, well, I hope this is just these scenes, but I could barely see it.
yeah. It's a problem. I saw with a group of people, a bunch of family, and one person said I had a hard time staying awake just because of how dark it was. Another person I talked to on the sidelines, I think Imogen, I think Tomas was saying when we talked about it that she was having issues with the extreme dark, and then like the headlights or something would pop on. It just like destroy your vision for a minute because of how dark it was previously. Uh, yeah, so I'm curious to watch it on my TV instead of the movie screen. But yeah, so I figured I'd warn you about that one. It's
April 19th
it's
is
a bit dark.
correct. They're s- they're
Is that
sticking
okay? I
to
thought
their
so.
45 days after it launches in theaters thing, which I didn't even know was a thing.
I'm Yeah, they kept jumping back and forth originally. Like, remember, I think we discussed it like a year ago, where one of our others was gung ho on like, oh, all movies will be coming out day of on
Hmm.
streaming services, and people were like, oh, that's. There was like a whole bunch of people going, yay, and a whole bunch of people going, that's
Right.
stupid. And now we've got this weird middle ground. So 45 days after, interesting.
Yeah, it's
So
surprising that how like they backed off so much on that. Like I thought
yeah, they seemed really gung ho about it. Like I was
yeah, I
excited
was too.
at how gung ho they were. I was like, "Oh,
Just
that's
more
awesome!
options.
I would love to see a lot of these movies."
Yeah,
Mhm.
and
I
we were even paying for it.
I did I will say yeah, exactly. I will say my experience with the Batman in theaters was much better than the Black Widow. I had a hard time with Black Widow because there was just a lot of nonsense, but
Mm.
I did enjoy my experience with the Batman. It did make me want to go back. So I feel a little bit better about the theaters, but I still prefer to see it at home. Uh,
Yeah,
my
I
son went
get
to the
you.
restroom I think 3 times during the
Gosh dang,
movie,
what were you
and
drinking?
I,
Soda?
I
Do you have
don't know. He
soda?
was he was chugging his drink.
Yeah,
Yeah, he had soda,
that
so he
gets
was just
me.
chugging it, and yeah, but it was just like, oh man, at home it's much easier. You just pause it, but here you can't do that, or rewind it, or turn on the
Yeah, the
subtitles.
pausing is nice because I have to pee regardless, especially in a 3 hour movie. I'm not gonna make it. Like no matter what I'm
Hmm.
drinking.
It's a
Yeah, I'm
long
gonna
movie.
have to leave.
It doesn't feel
Oh,
like it
okay.
though. I
That's
will tell you
cool.
that.
That's good.
It does go. It's
Good pacing.
solid movie. Like, yeah, really good pacing. You want more, at least
Nice.
to me. I was like, I wouldn't mind more. It's a good end, but I wouldn't mind more. I want to see the next one
Nice.
because I
That's good.
enjoyed it.
That's good to hear. Man, I might
Yeah.
see it before
So
then.
I hope you feel the same.
Get me all excited.
I enjoyed it. All right, so we'll leave off Batman before Kyle leaves us and goes
Yeah.
back. He's about to take
Just
it.
go right
Uh,
out.
all right, so we'll move on to we got some video game news, and this is a big one. This is a big news. We've discussed Xbox Game Pass
A
uh,
lot.
here a couple
A
times.
whole lot of
Yeah, a
time. Well,
lot.
a lot of chat too on our
Poor
Discord.
me and yeah, yes, poor me and Tomas are PlayStations. We never had experience this terrible system. No, we always said that we were jealous of it, of it, and we finally got something. Sony's finally giving us an answer to the Game Pass. They're not calling it that, and they're specifically avoiding the topic of this is a competitor. They're not saying that at all,
uh,
and a lot of people consider it not even close. I think it's
it's
close enough to be
close.
considered a
It has to
competitor,
be
and
because there's
it's hard to be a competitor though because they're both on two separate consoles. I mean, they're not really.
yeah,
If you
true.
have a PlayStation, you can't get the other one. If you have an Xbox, you can't get the other
But
one. You have to have both.
but
So it's
like and maybe you have a point, but I'm thinking that at this point it may sway you to buy one or the other, right? Like
true. That's a
if you're
valid
just
point.
getting into it, there's a lot of people that haven't bought either of these consoles, and maybe they go, "Oh, hey, I was gonna get that Game Pass because it sounded so nice, but now that PlayStation's doing it, they're over, they're gonna get
Yeah,
pulled that way." So I don't. I feel like they should endorse it a little bit more as a competitor, but I get what you're saying too. I didn't think about that aspect.
I. They are both on PC.
Yeah, that's
So
good.
that could consider him being a competitor. The only difference is, at least the main difference, in my opinion, is not in my opinion. It is a big difference. On PC, if you have the PlayStation Plus thing, it is, and we'll get to that. It's strictly digital. I mean, not digital. Streaming.
Streaming.
Like you can't download the games, so it's just streaming on
Is
PC.
that? Do you know if
You
that's
can't
temporary
like so.
or?
I don't know. That's just what they've said for now.
Oh,
So
okay.
um, we'll go through them real quick. It has a three-tier system, which I know Xbox has a two-tier system.
Yeah, which is
They
not.
have
I
one
like that.
PC one and one Xbox one, but they're the same thing.
Don't give me
And
so
then they
many
have the ultimate
options.
one that's both of them, right?
Yeah, stop with all the options.
Um, maybe this is not staying in people's. Maybe people aren't thinking about this, or I'm just missing something here. But the first tier of Xbox does not include gold, correct?
uh, so you
It
could
is like
you could get
strictly
Game Pass.
Xbox
You can
Game
get Game Pass
Pass.
without gold. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So the first tier of PlayStation Plus, but I guess the first tier of PlayStation Plus is basically what we have now. It's everything that we have now. It's the discounts, the cloud saving, um, the two monthly downloadable games. It's a big thing. It's a big kicker.
We
We
were
were
at
at
three,
three, now we're down to
which
two. A
kind of
lot of
was
people
coming.
are missing this for
I
some
know.
reason.
I saw it
Yeah,
coming though
a lot of people
because
not talking about
they
it.
were giving three because they're in the middle of going from PS4 to PS5. At least that's what I thought. And now that they're kind of, I feel like they're like,
Yeah,
well, we're just going to focus on PS5 now. I think that's maybe the logic of why they're
we'll
switching
probably
back
get
to
one and
two.
one though. I'd imagine.
Well, but eventually,
I'd imagine we get
well,
one and one at
eventually it's
least.
going to just PS5 though. Now, when that happens, it could be a year, it could be 2 years,
Theoretically, yeah.
but eventually they're going to cut off the PS4 just
Mm,
like they cut off the PS3. So,
I mean, I don't. Yeah, you're
so
right.
I
I think you're right because I did close off. They did close off everything else like before PS5 came out. There
right,
was a little while where it was just
exactly.
PS4 stuff.
That's what I'm so.
So I guess
Eventually,
you
maybe
probably
even
you
3 years from now.
yeah.
But the PS4 is still selling pretty
So
well.
that
So who knows?
yeah. So that price point is the
How
essential, which
much?
is the same thing. It's the same price you have now: $10 a month,
Right.
$60 a year, $25 quarterly. Obviously, $9.99, $24.99, $59.99, whatever. But that's the same thing. So this is where we get their first kicker up: $5 more, or
Mm,
14.99,
mm-hmm.
39.99 quarterly, and 99.99 yearly for the extra PlayStation Plus Extra, where you get all the benefits you had before, plus a catalog of 400 PS4 and PS5 games.
Right. Which is cool.
So, and these are for
Right.
download play, so you can actually download these ones. Um, and this one, so this right here, um, 400. I don't know why nobody's saying this. Granted, we aren't getting, none of these tiers have brand
Like,
new
yeah, day
games.
one releases and
That's a
stuff.
big. That's a big no day one. At least no day one first
Hmm.
party
Oh,
games. They
okay.
may do some
Yeah.
blends with other ones, but no day one first party games. Uh,
Which is yeah.
so people keep bringing this up at the
Which
Xbox
is
One,
yeah. Game Pass is
but the
pretty big
Xbox One
deal
from
that they do that.
yeah, Game Pass, from what I've understood, at least when I looked at the website, it says only 100 games, a rotating catalog of 100 games. So this is 4 times as many
Yeah.
games. Am I wrong?
Your math is
So
solid.
I am wrong.
You're good. You're right.
I'm just so why is like this is a big deal, right? This is like 4 times as many games as Game Pass. So and they do have a yearly model, which Game Pass does not have at
Yeah,
all.
that's really
To get
good.
Game Pass for a year right now, you're going to be paying $180 a
Yeah,
year, whereas the premium plan, which is 120 a year,
right.
but it
And
is
so
17.99 or $18
monthly.
monthly, which is versus the $15 of
Yeah,
Xbox.
and yeah, that's a big hit towards Xbox because I remember looking into that. Like, let me just get the year pro. Like, let me just pay for the year, and they don't have it, and it's like, okay, well, I don't. There's some months I don't play Xbox, so I just pay for it the months I use it. And like this past month, I didn't play Xbox at all, so it's like you guys lost that money when if you just give me the year program, I would have paid for the whole year, you
Yeah.
know. But so I like that about
Do you
this.
think X
Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, let me go through the premium plan real quick, and
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah, yeah.
break it down
Yep.
more. So all the same benefits as the other two, and this one has
It does
up
say
to
up to. I didn't catch
340
that.
additional games.
I didn't catch the up to
Yeah,
part.
340 games. Um, okay, so the first thing I really like is it includes, and this is for the retro gamers out there, original PlayStation, PlayStation 2, and this is what I love, PSP
Yeah,
games,
that's really cool.
uh,
That's
which
really cool.
is really cool
Yeah,
for just to
I
play on the
know you.
PS5,
I know
which is
you're a pretty
amazing.
big PSP fan too, so that was pretty big news to me. I didn't
Yeah,
see that coming.
I've been playing Liberty City
Oh,
Stories actually
nice,
recently on
dude!
my
You are in the
PSP, and
GTA
I keep wishing
mode.
it's. I'll talk about that later, but yes, I'm really into GTA right now. But when I saw this news, I was like, I gotta wait 2 months.
Mm,
I know that game's probably gonna be
yeah.
on there, and so I really I really would rather play it on that
Yep.
service, but I gotta wait two
Oh yeah,
months
I
to
didn't think
even
about that. Like
try.
being able to put the PSP games on a PS5. I didn't think about
Yeah.
that. Oh
People are wondering if there's gonna be upscaling. There's been
no,
some
no.
rumors of
My
it is rumors,
I know
rumors of them
my
adding
prediction is no. Whatever you're about to say, but
okay,
what?
of them potentially adding trophies to older
Oh
games.
no, but I would love that, but no, it's not going to happen.
You don't think it's
No,
gonna happen? I
they're
feel like
not
it
going
might.
back and doing
I feel
that.
like it's not like a huge. I
Now,
don't know. It's rumors, so we'll see if it
um,
happens.
Yeah, go ahead. Finish off
So
because I got yeah. Keep going.
okay, here's besides the trials, which is the trials are interesting because that is
Yeah.
kind of cool, even though they're not going to be adding the launch games. But imagine, if you will,
Uh huh.
them coming out with a new first party game, and you're like on the fence about it, like I don't know. But they release a trial where you get to play like another demo, so you get to play like 10 hours of it or something. I mean,
Uh,
you would be more obligated to go purchase or feel, or maybe you just
I
wait. I'd probably
yeah.
just
I
wait
just
too.
feel like
Uh,
trials is another word for demo, and I don't like paying for demos.
I Yeah, I think I agree with you. I feel like demos should be a
That
thing
yeah
anyways.
yeah okay.
I feel like we've moved away from demos, and I don't like that, especially with these permanent games that you purchase digitally, and returning them or getting your refund back is a pain in the
Mm,
butt through PlayStation. They should have
I
more
yeah
demos so you can decide if you want them
yeah.
or not.
That should be available to
Um,
everybody. Um, espe-
So should cloud
and
saving. I would argue as
at the
well
very
because
least, every tier that should be in every tier. I don't understand why that's not in all the tiers.
yeah, you're absolutely right. It should be.
At the
Uh,
very least.
But let's do the negative part that everybody's pissed
Ooh,
about. Everybody's
I
screaming
haven't read up
about
on it. I want to
this.
know.
PS3
Oh,
games
this is what they're mad
available, but
about.
only cloud
This is what.
streaming.
Well, I guess
Everybody on Twitter
you
is throwing hands
you
about
you would
this.
probably be mad about
Uh,
it too because you don't have the strongest like streaming internet. Like I don't know if I could even stream
I have
games.
not attempted. I do have a new internet that's much better than it used to be, but I do not know if it's capable of streaming. I'm curious about trying it just to see what would happen, but I still don't think so because the things I've been hearing about streaming in
It's rough.
general have been very hit or miss, unlike gig download, and I don't even have anywhere close to
Mm,
that. So,
yeah, I don't even think I have that, dude.
I
That's what I'm
I don't
saying.
know.
However,
Yeah, these are people with, like, gig down and gig up, like, internet, like, super fast FireWire, and they're still having lag issues and things like that.
I'm
So,
surprised that's
I don't know.
like what everyone's mad about. I did not expect them to even put them on there.
That and then the day one games.
Yeah,
Those are the
that
2
one I
things
get.
that people are complaining
Because if
about.
okay,
A lot of people keep getting confused about the streaming thing, assuming it's all streaming
is see,
only
yeah.
when it's only PS3.
Well, and here's my
So,
thing
uh,
with the three tiers because it's a lot. It took a while to get just us reading through it, and discussing it. Obviously, it took a lot to
yeah,
get
and
through.
I skipped a
Yeah,
lot.
you
I
did.
tried to go quick.
You skipped quite a bit. But here's like
Yeah.
it is very confusing. Don't have three tiers. You don't need the three tiers. I don't think you have two. Do the two, and just put everything that you have in that third one in the second one because you're only adding $3 a month. Like really, like now you're just nickel and diming us. I feel like just do the big
Yeah.
one.
It's a
Don't even
drastic
do the
it is a
second one.
drastic decrease for the multi, like, quarterly and then yearly. It seems to per month, decreases pretty drastically. I think the 120 was calculated on $8 and something a month. Yeah, it would be $8 a
Right.
month because 8 times 12 is
It's on,
120.
well, yeah.
So
Well, that's the
seems
thing. It's
reasonable.
like, yeah, that's all fine. It's too many, right? It's we're nerd
Yeah,
BS, right?
I
And
get
we're
it.
we're digging into it, and I feel like it's too many. Just have the $60 a
I
year
think
or $120 a year. I'm just saying,
yeah.
as someone who's dug into it and read it all, I think it's too many tiers.
I would agree with you, but at the same time, I disagree because I feel like the majority of people don't care about the retro games as much. I think
Well,
me and
that's
you
exactly.
are
So just throw it
potentially
in.
the
So
exception.
just throw it into the
Yeah,
plus one.
I mean,
That's what I'm saying. You're right, though.
maybe right.
That's why.
Maybe that's a valid
That's
point.
why I'm
That
surprised.
maybe they should just throw it in because it's such a niche audience.
Exactly. That's why I'm surprised that the PS3 thing is like such a big deal to people because no one's. You might play a game or two, but it's you're not gonna play that many. I
I
might play a game or
I
two.
still have my PS3.
Exactly.
I still have my PS3, so and I've been looking into purchasing something for it recently. But uh, PS3 is a tricky one to because this is all emulation.
Right.
essentially.
Right.
PS3 is a tricky one to emulate, but there's actually a couple of videos, and I would look into them. I'm not going to be the tech whiz that knows all the ins and outs of the technology, but from what I've understood, it's actually sounding more and more feasible that if Sony was willing to put the effort and obviously money into
Mm.
it, the PS5 is capable of emulating PS3,
Emulating
is
it.
what I'm
Yeah.
understanding. The specs in it line up, and it can emulate PS3. It's just creating an emulation software for the PS5. And so that takes time and effort.
Yeah.
And so they would have to be spending the money for it. It sounds like they don't feel the need uh, to spend the money to get that benefit.
Right.
They don't maybe they don't feel the benefit is worth enough
Maybe,
because
and
I think you just
yeah.
said the people who use this is most people cry backwards compatibility and then never
And the
use
numbers,
backwards
they've done the
compatibility.
numbers. The numbers
That's why
don't
they
show
started
it.
getting rid of it.
Yeah, the numbers don't show it.
Yeah,
It's just not there. It really isn't.
that's why the PlayStation because the first PS3, the first model, the one that's like super hard to find and also apparently breaks pretty easily, literally
Yeah.
had a PS2 built into it,
Yeah. Oh
um,
yeah, those are
and they just
really hard to
removed
find.
it.
Yeah, because that thing was 600
Really hard
bucks
to
at
find, and
launch.
because they also break too. hmm
Yeah,
And
I've
that's
had a
part of the
couple,
reason was
and they
because
were all
of
broken. None of them worked.
yeah, I've heard because I've thought about getting one because I thought it was a really cool idea. I was like, "Oh, that'd be so awesome! I
Right?
could get the PS3 and I could play everything." But I've looked into it, and yeah, they break. It's a very big problem that they break.
They will
So
break.
I didn't want to deal with
And
that.
yeah, you do the
So they
I,
are
they're
expensive and
expensive,
they break.
and if you do the math, you could get a slim PS2 and a slim PS3 for
hmm
like well under half the cost of it. And yeah, I wish they would have kept it in, but I honestly don't use it. I
Yeah,
wouldn't use
because
it enough to
having a PS
keep it.
having a PS2 that has an HDMI port is something that's
Well, that's kind of.
pretty.
I didn't
Uh,
think about that.
I would imagine is yeah, because I've been looking into. I really part of me really wants to get an N64. I keep debating trying to get one, but the other part of me is I was like, I don't really want one unless it has the HDMI mod. And if you want to
Oh,
get
you
the
want the
HDMI
mod?
mod, you're going to be forking over a lot of
They
money.
have
Yeah, there's a mod that you can get. There's
they
also
have like adapters and
there
stuff.
is an external
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, they do have adapters, but they are not as good
No.
as the internal mod that's hardwired in is much better.
Right. Of
So it's
course.
just very expensive and hard to
Or
get, and you have to
or
slot
you
it in.
could just go find an old CRT TV and play that way. Cause
Yeah, and just chuck that big lead
dude,
weight around.
I have one.
Uh,
Okay, okay. Side story.
yeah.
We went
Uh-huh.
to a game. Oh, what, a game con recently. I totally blanked. I don't know why this isn't one of the stories. It was in it was at Ontario Convention Center. I'm totally retro. It was a retro game convention. Anyways, we're there, and
You have to hit me up when you head one of those someday. I'm gonna have to go with you because I would
yeah,
love to just cruise
um,
one of those
I don't.
places. Probably won't buy anything, but I'm a window shopper
Yeah, you'd
anyways.
be
I love it.
surprised. Um, yeah, it's so you just get caught up in it. You've been to stuff like that. Anyways, while we're there,
Yeah, I bought comics at when I don't even
right?
collect comics at
Yeah,
comic conventions because I get so
I
excited.
did pretty good when I went there. I just took cash and I stayed under my limit. And anyways,
Mhm.
there was this booth that had like old retro games, and they had this row of old CRT TVs, and then they had this shelf of set that said free, and there's just like those big box, heavy as bricks CRT TVs, shelves of them, and I walk over like a like a moth to the light. And my wife's with me, and she's like, don't you dare! It says free though. Like, where? No, no." And I'm like, "Fine." And then like it's funny. It's a little sad, but it's funny. This other guy walks over, and he like you could just see he's almost like maybe more excited than I am, and he tries to pick one of them up, and he's like shaking, dude. He's like literally like can't lift this thing, and we're like, you need some help, buddy. Like we're at the tail end of this convention. Where are you going to take that right now? Like, well,
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
can't help you lug that around all day. So
I can't imagine. I've been to conventions and, like, usually you're parking
You're
pretty
so
far
far.
away.
Like, dude,
That
just
would
let it
be
go. You gotta let it go, man. I know it says free, but
yeah,
he
sometimes free
he
isn't worth
almost
it.
dropped it, and he set it back down though, and then
Ooh,
I think he went and got help. But it was like he
mhm.
was like shaking, like, dude, it's not worth it. Let it go. It's an old TV.
Yeah. I've I've thought about that because I've my brother-in-law has an N64, which I actually tried to
Hmm.
buy from him, but he was like, "No." But,
You looking for
uh,
one? I
we've
got
hooked it up
one.
to his TV before. Huh?
I got
Oh, I bet we'll have to talk later about that maybe.
wink, wink.
But we hooked it up on the LCD TV, and it's just not the
It's
same. It
not.
does feel weird, because it's really bizarre. That's why the HDMI mod sounds really good because it does make it a lot better.
Yeah,
Uh,
it
but
would.
it is but my TV now, like this TV I have right now in my living room, it doesn't even have the jacks anymore. They stopped
Oh,
doing it on a lot of the newer ones,
yeah,
because they're just phasing them
yeah.
out.
I
So
have a little adapter,
it's one of those
but it
things.
still stretches it out. It's not
Yeah,
good.
the retro there's a
Not
couple
not
retro
not the
ones
good
I've looked
one.
at. They're not too bad.
No, I don't.
Oh,
Not the good
okay.
one. I just have the like the AV to HDMI like $10 adapter you get on Amazon, so I can use an HDMI if I need to.
Ah, yeah, I have
And
one of
yeah, it
those.
stretches it out. It looks
Mhm.
terrible, but I can play games.
I Yeah, I have one for my Wii, and it's not
Oh,
the
you don't even
best.
have component
It's
because the Wii
alright,
has
but it's
component cables at least. Or did you tell you there? Those are gone on your TV. You
I
said.
have a component, but there is no component on this TV. Yeah,
Ah,
it's nothing, it's just HDMI.
I
HDMI,
have
nothing.
component to
So, actually,
HDMI
I
converter. We'll
think it
talk later, bud. I got all sor-
I'll have to
I got all
look
sorts
because
of
I
things
think
to say.
it does have the 3. I think it has 1 3, like, where it's just the yellow,
Really?
red, and green, red and
What?
blue. Red and I think it might. I might have to look at it back
Yeah,
again. I think I remember seeing it and be like, "Why that?" But not
yeah.
anything else, just that for some
That would be
reason.
weird.
Uh, yeah. I do have my TV in our bedroom, the older TV. It does have it. It's another flat screen, but it does have the
Yeah.
component cables because I remember hooking my PSP to it, and that's a whole other thing.
Oh wow. Yeah. Jeez. Yeah. Well, this might. Yeah,
Uh,
that's just right up your alley then, because the PSP games are coming to PS5.
I know. That's why I'm so excited for it because I love PSP games, but I love the PSP, but, like, when my phone screen is bigger than the PSP screen,
Hmm.
I'm like,
Dude, it's not a good screen
this is
anymore.
this is
It's not even
rough."
close. It's
No,
it's bad.
and I tried to play it in my car one day because I was, like, waiting. I had, like, an hour to kill, and I was like, "I'm just gonna park behind this grocery store where it's nice and shady," and I still could barely
Yeah.
see the
It
screen.
had
I was like, "Oh my
yeah, the
god,
backlight's
this
not even
sucks."
great. It's like we've come a long way.
No.
Yeah, I plug mine
Yeah,
into the
it's
TV
rough.
too,
It's rough.
my PSP, and
It's but it Yeah, I like boxes it down too. I don't know,
well,
it's
okay,
weird. It's a weird
funny.
system.
Okay,
I'm
I
not a
did
huge
get the
fan of
good
it.
converter for that. There's like this really random third party PSP converter.
I'll have to check it
It's
out, yeah, see what
so
you're
hard
talking
to
about.
find though, but
'Cause I got
I
one
paid a lot
converter,
of
but it was,
money.
like, the official one, and it wasn't very
No,
good.
I have like this
And
off-brand
I
one,
paid too much money for
and
it,
it was like $150, and
but
it
it's, like, really
yeah,
good.
it's really good.
That's awesome.
So
But
yeah,
anyways, about subscription services,
yeah, totally
let's
off
go back
subject.
to normal, new games. GTA, I've been talking about a little bit because I've been playing it. Um, I just wanted to bring this up because GTA Plus is being announced. For those that don't know, GTA came out. We discussed in our Discord a little bit. GTA 5 came out recently. I know. Again, it just got the new ones. It originally
Oh
came out on
man,
PS3 and Xbox
it's
One,
wild.
and now it's coming out for yeah, for the latest. Wait, not Xbox One. Is Xbox 360? Oh, it came on Xbox 360, huh?
It did.
PS3, Xbox
Yep.
360. Son of a biscuit. But anyways, so it just got re-released again. They released it for $10. I bought it. Um, and for those on PlayStation 5 at least, I think 4 gets it as well, but I could be wrong. They get GTA Online free for 3 months as well. But now they've introduced this new. It came out yesterday when they announced it, and I guess when they announced it, it just dropped the same day.
Mm.
The GTA Plus, which is a $6 a month subscription service where you get a whole bunch of things like $500,000 in game, um, uh, some sort of a new cars, a bunch of other stuff. You can look up the details, but that's not why I even brought it up. It's just this game is, I want to say it's almost 10 years old now, if not older. Um, when the $10 game came out, so it's $10 now, and it's going to be $40 in July. It's really muddled. Uh, I guess that's going to be um, the official pricing is going to be
Jeez.
$40 retail price, whereas GTA Online is going to be on its own now. But if you buy the story when it comes with it, but if you can buy it on its own for $20. But after this happened, old Elden Ring. This is an article from March 25th. Elden Ring finally got knocked off its pedestal in the UK store by, lo and behold, GTA
Oh,
5. So we're
crazy.
this 10-year-old game, at least 10 years old. I could be mistaken, but it's an old game.
It's
It's a game
it's
from
10
two
years old.
generations ago.
Yeah.
Uh, just hit number one in at least the UK, and it's probably on every chart again.
Oh yeah.
So now we have this game that's this old, getting a games as service like many games that are out now. Games as service is a hot ticket. I mean, PlayStation bought Bungie, and the first thing they said was they have like five games as service games planned, and part of the reason they got Bungie was to prepare for that. So games of service are taking over.
Mhm.
This game's an old game that's been updated quite a bit, and now it's getting a monthly subscription. They had microtransactions before, but now it's getting a monthly subscription. How do you feel
2000.
about this new landscape? I mean, not
Yeah.
new anymore. This is like we're at the point where it's becoming a
Right.
normalcy. Not it's not new anymore.
Yeah.
This is like a new
Yeah.
thing that's happening.
You're
These games are
absolutely
coming
right.
out and doing this service.
It is the current. It
So
is normal now. You're absolutely right. And 2013 was the release date, by the way, for it originally. So 9 years, almost
so
10,
9 years, I
almost 10.
guess. Close,
Still,
being close.
no
Next
other
year will be ten
game.
years.
I don't think any other game has ever reached that. But to go back to
Last article I saw, it's almost top. It sold 160 million at the time. This is in February though.
yeah.
The top game sold is Minecraft at 200 million. But GTA
Oh
is catching
well.
up.
Yeah.
It's catching up.
Minecraft. Yeah. I guess. Okay. If we're including Minecraft in there, that's. I mean, that's kind of like at
Well,
the.
it was a big deal when Minecraft beat Tetris though. That was a big deal when cuz Minecraft beat all iterations of Tetris as
Okay.
the
So that was the
as it
last
was like
one.
as yeah.
That was the last game to like kind of
Yeah.
surpass all that. So it had been a while since the game had been beaten for Minecraft. So
Yeah.
but that seems to be the thing though, like you're saying, like games have reached just games in general have reached a new popularity, and the idea. Well, look at Minecraft. That's a good one, and GTA 5 online. It is very much open world. It is like almost entirely open world where it's like here's the tools, do what you want with the tools, and that is becoming
And I'm pretty sure GTA has like a mode where you can
exactly.
create
Yeah,
stuff, kind of like Roblox or Minecraft. So it has a similar
right. And like
aspect.
I've even seen I've seen people streaming it, and this might have been a mod, but like people streaming it where they're talking and their character in game, their mouth is moving while they're talking, so it's almost just like virtual.
No, that's actually part of
Yeah,
the game.
so
That's in the online store. That's it's
which
actually
is
pretty cool. It's a pretty cool
it
little
is,
feature. The same thing they
but
did in
like
Red Dead.
that came and went like in society, and we haven't talked about it. Where it's like we're in virtual reality, like we're one step away from
Hmm.
living in what I
Yeah,
like to call the Wally world,
I've
but no, like Ready Player One, as more like it.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
I think that's
We
probably
have my son plays. Oculus 2, the
Oh,
Quest
really?
2.
Yeah. Huh?
It's pretty cool. I've put it
Oh,
on.
yeah.
It's pretty nuts. I'm already like as soon as PSVR 2 comes out, I think I'm gonna
Yeah,
grab
I
it.
might too.
This time I've already kind of planned on getting it.
I wish it was a little bit more wireless. From what I've heard, it's not. But we can save that for another time.
Yeah, it's got one wire.
Okay,
They got
cool.
it
Okay,
down to
good.
one
Then I'll
wire.
probably get it.
So it's much
But
better
that's
now.
what I think. That's
Yeah.
the next step.
I wanted it to be wireless
That's
as
what's gonna
well,
beat
but
Minecraft is Grand Theft Auto VR. And I know like the general like voicing concern is that people want GTA 6, and maybe this is a step towards us actually getting that.
they did announce that they started
They
development
announced
on
that
it.
they started
So
thinking
that is
about it.
yeah, they announced they're like, "All right, we'll start working on it." I don't know if that was like, "We'll start working on it," or "We've been working on it." I couldn't
Yeah,
tell, like, people
either
are
way, it's
wondering.
going to be a
They never
couple
gave it of
years.
course, no date or
Yeah,
anything. This was just more of a yeah, this is more of like a, "We're working on it, by the
which
way. Just let you guys
which
know."
I always like to throw in the business perspective from it. From a business perspective, you got to pump into what's making money, and their online is making money.
Yeah,
I
if it ain't
I got
broke.
to admit, I think I'm kind of I'm not a big GTA fan. But I'm kind of liking the subscription model more. Like even going back to PlayStation, like I'm really excited for the retro games for me, and so I'm kind of liking this subscription based model before. And we talked about this beforehand. I thought GTA had a subscription model already. Like I'm surprised it took them this long to get there. Maybe they're starting to lose overall microtransaction revenue, and they're like, let's just make the subscription then, and that might boost sales for a little bit longer. But who knows? I don't know if they release that kind of data.
I don't I don't think so. I think they're Rockstar is one of those weird companies to me because I used to love Rockstar, and now, like, the bigger they get, the more like slimy it starts to
It's
feel,
unavoidable.
and I feel like they're just taking advantage of a situation. Yeah, it does seem like the more money a company has, the less
Well,
ethical they're going
well,
to
think
be
about it.
about it.
The more money you have, the more you just have to hire people because you need to spend that money in areas to grow and develop, right? Like to make more money, you got to spend a little bit of it. So you got to hire more people. The more hands you have in it, the more opportunity for greed and stuff like that to happen. And just start getting all these
Mhm.
ideas when when a lot of it's just like a lot of this stuff starts with just a few people working on something, and they
Yeah,
it's just a business rule, and it's
I
tough to expand, and you know evil things happen.
what
I don't know if I
I
should
would
say
argue
evil,
one of
but
the sad things about it is that Red Dead Redemption 2 kind of suffered from it because Red Dead Redemption they created an online service very
they did.
similar to GTA Online, but it they kind of stopped supporting it. They haven't really added anything in quite a while, and a lot of people think it's because it didn't turn out to be as much of a moneymaker as GTA Online.
That's probably
Because
exactly
why
why.
keep putting resources into that game when GTA Online is already making way more money?
Right.
So I think that that's part of things that kind of stinks about the whole
Yeah, it
situation
does.
is that you get a newer game that deserves more. And I would argue Red Dead Redemption is a prettier game because it is a newer game,
True. True.
most likely. Um, but yeah, and so that kind of it sucks. And so I wonder in GTA 6 there's a lot of rumors going on of flying, but one of the rumors that flew by my face was because it's 6, it's going to be VI and VI Vice City. So people are
What?
speculating that
Wow.
GTA 6 is going to be going back
Jeez.
to Vice
That is
City,
a
or
that is
go to
quite
that
the rabbit
style.
hole, but that is one of the
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
that is
So
one of the better ones in my opinion.
I'm loving it. I'm actually playing it right now, and I'll talk about it later. But I would love to go back to that era. I mean, I feel like it's different enough because, like you just said, we've been playing GTA Online for 9 years now, and it's set in the. I guess it's supposed to be like the current time.
Yeah.
So like you had Red Dead that was like the Western, and now we're. But that I think the problem with the Western is it lacks a lot of like innovation. There's not a lot of like tech and things, so not a lot of things they can add
True.
as much. I would argue
I'm sure if they
compared to like a
poured into it,
GTA Online.
I'm sure if they poured into it, they could figure stuff
Oh,
out.
I'm sure they could find stuff,
Yeah.
but it's not as easy, I think, to just come up with like, oh, new fighter jets and stuff like that because
Yeah.
they don't have that
True.
stuff.
That's a good
Uh,
point.
so that's the only thing I think of. And so I think that the 70s is the 70s or 80s. I forget where
80s.
Vice is
80s.
uh, located in. So at least it's closer, and so I feel like there could be more tech stuff, and more like and the 80s and stuff. There's all this nostalgia for 80s
Yeah.
and 90s culture.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that just
Man,
hits that extra
the
note.
90s would probably be better because we're getting to that point where, you and I grew up in the 90s. That would be more of our generation
Yeah.
that we would recognize. So,
For sure. And I would argue that our generation probably is one of the highest for older people playing video games. It's
older.
probably the millennials.
Hey, buddy,
Yeah, I mean we're at that point.
look, I
Yeah,
only threw out my back twice
where we're
this
still
week.
playing games.
Okay, twice, only two times. So I don't know who you calling older.
Oof, sorry to hear
No, I
that.
didn't. It was close though. It
Oh
was
man.
close.
Yeah. But still, and so I think that is a good place to target. So I could
Yeah,
understand that.
but
Is what I was
but that's
getting at.
still just
So
rumors
we'll
for
see.
if they even do six. Well, they said that
It's
you
all
said they
just
did
rumors.
kind of mention
Yes.
six, but
We have no idea. And for all we know, GTA 6 ain't coming until 2033. So, I mean,
right,
at
could
that
be.
point, who knows? Uh,
Yeah,
we could be in our 40s by the time
and maybe
GTA
they do
6
like a
comes out.
space one and just throw it like just they're like we've been making money
Just
hand over fist, so
completely,
let's just do
yeah.
something wacky and see what happens.
I'd be cool with it. There was rumors about Rockstar flirting with a fantasy style game, a medieval fantasy style game, but I don't know with Elden Ring out now. Uh, they would really need to do something
Yeah,
spectacular
I think
for a
that wouldn't be.
fantasy
Yeah,
setting.
I feel yeah, like Elden Ring and Final Fantasy, they got that on lockdown. Those games are already rocking and rolling
Yeah,
with that.
there's a lot of competition for that
But the space one
era.
is, I think, is
Um,
open. There's not a whole lot.
Sci-fi, yeah, sci-fi could be interesting, especially in that vein. Most sci-fi is like first-person
Mm-hmm.
shooters. Usually, a lot of shooters are in that regard, or even
Mm-hmm.
RPGs. Uh, it'd be interesting to do like a GTA, just because GTA is like more. It's a different
It
beast.
is.
GTA is a different style of game that I think a few other companies have really mastered. I think the Saints Row people, they did a really good job at doing
Yeah,
the same
they did
thing.
because they
Um,
just went
and
balls to the wall
I can't
silly.
think of any other off the top of my head. I think Mafia was doing all right too. I was actually looking into trying Mafia again, at all
Well,
actually.
I don't know about that
Yeah.
one, but
But anyways, what I was getting at was like GTA's, they got a thing, and not there's not a lot of competition. I don't think there's anything like GTA
right, no,
online. I don't
there
think there's
isn't.
anything that's
I
like
mean,
that
Red
game.
Dead, which is their own
It's a
game, same
But
company.
it's still
Yeah,
their own thing, and yeah, exactly. So I just don't think they got that on lockdown. So they're gonna keep milking it,
yeah.
and who knows? GTA 6 could be just another Red Dead. They could bring it out, and it just doesn't
Well,
slay, doesn't take enough people away from
you know
GTA
what?
Online.
The thing that they've done too is they've allowed the community to mod their game, right? They like, here's our game.
Okay, they don't
Well,
allow. Okay, this is something I should have brought up before. This subscription service is only for
right.
console. It is only on
Yeah, but
PS5 and Xbox.
they're
It is
not
not
like
on PC.
shutting people down like Nintendo, Like if you mod a Nintendo game and stream it, it's not going to work, right? They're not headhunting.
I will say they probably, I don't know if they've cracked down the online aspect of modding, but I know they cracked down. There was a big controversy, and I don't know if we talked about it with the definitive edition that came out. They did go through and shut down mods for the because they released San Andreas, Vice City,
Hmm.
and 3 on PC, and there was a huge modding community. And before the definitive edition came out, they actually went down and started wiping and getting rid of all the mods the community had been making.
Uh,
They did double back on that though after
yeah,
after Dividend Edition came out. and it was a problem. They kind of doubled back on that. Like, all right, well, we'll start selling this again, but
Well,
it's only on our service. You can buy it on our service, and we're just gonna look the other way on those mods for a while
exactly.
longer.
It's if I need to eat my words, I will. But from what I've seen, it's a little. It's just more like, hey, please don't do it, and then people do it, and they're like, oh well, we said not to, but kind of like that. That example is a
Yeah,
good one where it's like, oh, we released a
I,
terrible, you know, version of our own game. Sorry for that. You do what you want, kind of deal. But yeah,
yeah, exactly.
so yeah, but I mean,
Well,
yeah, so yeah, I haven't even played five at all. I stopped at four, but I do like the
I
subscription service. I'm
loved.
coming around to it more, to be honest. I really am.
Yeah, I guess it depends on the price and depends on a game that you can really sink your teeth into. I mean, I'm an MMO guy, so for me to really knock subscription services is kind of, biting my own foot because I mean, I paid when I play Final Fantasy, I'm paying
Yeah,
$15 a month
that's
to
true.
play that game. So
Well, yeah,
it's the same. It's the same
like I've
idea.
told you before we recorded. If this was Zelda, like if this was Breath of the Wild, and they said this, like,
Yeah,
yeah, sign me up. I'll do it right away. If this was a Dragon Ball Z game,
living world.
I would have pre-ordered it
Yeah,
a
that'd be
thousand
cool
times.
actually.
Not a thousand, but like there's certain genres and specifically just certain IPs that I will definitely be on board for. This isn't one in particular for me, but obviously it is very popular worldwide. So I yeah,
Yeah.
I'm kind of getting on board with it.
All right, Rockstar. If you're watching this podcast, all I ask, if you're gonna do this, I'm fine with it. Just give us crossplay. Come on, let's
Yes,
play with
that's a
people on
big
other
knock to
consoles.
it.
Why is this like this huge game so isolated?
Right.
Why are we so isolated? Like, at least let me play with my Xbox friends if I wanted to. Like, why do I
Yep.
gotta avoid all this? I don't know. I've been playing a lot of Destiny, and I get to play with some Xbox buddies of mine, and it's like really refreshing that we get to play a game together, cross console, and this would have been a cool one
That I
to get
feel like they should have
to
done
do
that
that.
first or made that part of this subscription service. Like, well, yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
Like, why are we not doing that?
it's
So
frustrating.
that's a big knock to it.
Yeah, well, PlayStation's doing good right now, and even you got a PS5, right? I heard you got a
I
PS5.
do.
I think I went to your house for your son's birthday, and you were very proud of your PS5,
I
and I was very excited
was
to see you get one because you were talking about getting an Xbox.
yes, I well because Xbox seemed easier to
So
get at the time.
yeah, I
Still,
think it is. I keep looking at it, I'm like, "Maybe I'll grab one," but I'm like, "Do I re
yeah,
what I'm already
I
I
I
got
do the
games to
same
play on the
thing.
PS5. Why am I even I'm not gonna go play it."
I'll get one eventually.
But anyways,
Obviously, I
uh,
will get one
yeah,
eventually, but not anytime soon.
they had it there was an Xbox Series S, like, it popped up on sale for, like, 230
Ooh,
bucks. Like, it was brand new from, like, Staples or
huh?
something,
What?
and I thought about
So
it. I was
random.
like, "Ooh." Yeah, I know. That's
Wait,
why I was like,
was it the
I
digital
could,
one?
cause
Oh,
yeah, it was the Series S. It was the white
yeah.
one. So I was like, for 230, I get to play Halo. I mean, is basically what I was looking at.
So
So
yeah, I guess
maybe,
yeah,
but
that's true.
I didn't
You
get
would
it.
be
But
able to play
anyways,
Halo.
you got your PS5 and you had some issues with your games.
I
What's going on with your
I'm not.
games,
It's not so
Kyle?
much an issue. Not with the games, at least. It's more of me, right? So this is my soapbox of the week, and yeah, I was more proud of like how I got the PS5. I guess like I'd more of like just kind of woke up one morning and it was on BestBuy.com, and it took a few refreshes, but I got it,
Nice.
and it wasn't a big pain. So I remember even the guy that
Which is good because I had a hard time
I,
getting one from Best
dude,
Buy.
yeah,
So
we had a whole
that's
podcast
awesome.
about it. I know. And I
I
was
know.
surprised. I honestly didn't believe it until I picked it up. And the dude that handed it to me was like, "Oh, nice, you got one." Like, he saw the computer, was like, "Oh, cool." I was like, "Yep." Like, hand it
That's
over.
cool.
Don't try any funny business. No, he was cool. It was just like, I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
I know these are crazy. And then I was actually a little nervous when I walked out of the store. Like, you guys got like a big old bag. I don't want to get mugged. But it was fine.
I can imagine that. Yeah, I thought about that when I picked it up for I found one for
Mm,
Tomas and I remember walking out of the store. I was like, "This is like gold
Yeah,
right now.
you
Gotta
could.
be
This is like
careful."
$1,000 right now. Yeah. Um, which I
I
think they
know
still are. They're still hard to find. It's like whatever.
they're really hard to
Yeah,
find
but
still. Xbox is a little
yeah,
easier,
but still,
but
yeah,
yeah,
like both
the
of them. It's like
PS5 for
no,
sure.
everyone just settle down, please. But here's the issue. It's not so much the games. I think I have about 10 games for the PS5. I've went all in on it and started getting. I got some good ones like Returnal. I guess Returnal is a good one from what I've seen. Um, I even got Guardians of the Galaxy. By the way, I got Final Fantasy VII. I'm going through my list. I got Demon Souls and I got Elden Ring. Here's the deal. Out of those, I actually have 12 games. Out of those 12, only two have been opened, and that's the issue. I haven't played any of these games. Now we recorded a podcast, a normal one, not the Batman one, a few weeks ago, where I think I talked about a game I played. I haven't played a game since then. I was thinking about this today, dude. Yeah, I
Oh
was like,
wow.
oh, what are we talking about today? And I was looking through the outline. I'm like, what did I play this week? I was like, I haven't even played a game. Now, to be fair, the last time we recorded, I had started my little side business on the Whatnot app and was selling games, right? And that definitely ate up any free time I had because I hit the ground running.
Yeah, of
I
course.
think I did like 4 streams in a week, and that totaled out to be like you know 25-30 hours of work on top of my other job. And so I've definitely reduced that. I do 2 streams a week. I got a new printer that cuts down the workload by 2 hours packing and shipping all the games I sell. So all that to say, I've reduced my time selling games and reselling games, and now I'm ready to play games. So
There you
the
go.
problem is I just need to open these. Now,
Where do you start?
I think Elden Ring, right? Like I have it. That one's opened.
I feel like yeah, because you seem really excited
Yeah, I
for
am
it.
still
And
excited.
now that you're starting it, maybe I have to grab it just because now if you're playing
So
it. I really want to play that game. I keep thinking about it every once in a while. I'm just like, it looks really cool.
yeah, there's a couple I might
But
not.
I'm just hoping the hype's gonna die down
I'm
soon.
definitely going to play Guardians of the Galaxy. I might keep Final Fantasy VII remake sealed, just because
Just in
that seems
box.
like a good one to keep sealed. Because I
I
already
don't.
have it on
You
PlayStation
think so?
Plus.
Because eventually they're gonna like make a combo, right? I would imagine with like
I'm going
all
on a
three
hunch
parts.
because this is the Intergrade one.
All right.
This is kind of like it's one
Yeah,
of
yeah,
those
of
like side
course.
ones
Has the
yeah, I don't
DLC.
think a lot of people have bought this one. That's just a guess. I could be completely
Hmm.
wrong, and you know it bottoms out. Um, but there's also one called Pathless or The Pathless, which I got.
I haven't heard of that.
Um, I know it's. I think it might be on PS4. I could be wrong, but I think it's a PS5 exclusive. But I got the like variant cover that you I got directly from the website of the publisher,
Oh,
and I'm probably going to keep that one sealed because
nice.
it's from what I read, it's a really short game and it's a really cheap game that I could probably pick up for $10 just somewhere. So I might just buy it digitally or something. But the rest I'm going to open. I got the Neo collection. It has Neo 1 and 2, Demon Souls, like I said, something
Hmm.
called Hired Gun. But yeah, there's my issue. It's me,
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe when this new service comes out, you can get rid of some of them if you're on the service.
right?
Maybe.
Like that's actually really good timing. I might just sell a couple and just play the rest.
Oh,
Pay for
we'll
some
see.
demos.
Yeah, there you go. Pay for some demos.
So
Oh my
that's my
goodness,
soapbox.
it's so weird. Yeah. All right. I just want to talk about GTA some more. Not about the subscription or anything. I mean, I bought the $10 thing. I'm part of the problem. Uh, I hadn't purchased. I didn't own it. I haven't owned. I bought it once on PS3, but I sold it like right
GTA
after I
5?
got it.
You talking about?
Uh, yeah, GTA 5. So I finally bought it for $10. I thought that was a good price to go through the story, go through the story
That's a
finally.
good price
And
for
I
a
loved
good
it.
game,
I had a great
right?
time.
I mean, I haven't played it, but it's a
Yeah,
good game.
I probably yeah, I spent probably about 40 or so hours in it easily, just exploring the world. And we're in a very particular I think we're in a very particular location. I know you said you haven't played it yet. I would argue playing it specifically because the San Andreas area is totally Southern California. Like it's
Oh,
it's almost
huh.
eerily similar. Like, driving from the big city out to the desert and stuff like
Yeah.
that, there's areas in the game where you're just like, "Holy crap, this looks just like blank." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You're just like, "Oh my goodness." It's pretty nuts, it's pretty surreal how close it looks to Southern
that's pretty cool.
California. So, it's pretty nuts, driving around and stuff and seeing those things. So, I had a lot of really fun with it, a lot of good fun with it, but when I got it, it'd been a little bit since I stopped, but I had beat the third Grand Theft Auto. I think we talked about it through the definitive edition, and then I started Vice City again because I actually never beat it when I was younger. I did own it, but I remember the levels. I don't know if they were too hard or I didn't have the focus. But I used to just do random stuff in that game. I don't think I ever. I think I did the story a little bit, but I mainly just did my own thing. I don't remember actually trying to beat the game. So I'm actually
That
trying to
happens
do
to
it
me every
now.
time. I never beat
Um,
number 4 because of that exact reason. Just dicked around here.
I didn't either, and I love number 4, and I feel bad because I didn't beat it because I was like, I really like Nico. I think he's my favorite, like, of the
Yeah.
protagonists.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Besides, yeah. So I really want to go back to that, but I'm kind of like hesitant because I was debating getting it for PS3. I've been actually stalking a couple listings of
Nice.
the complete edition on PS3 just
Oh.
because I have a PS3, so it's be something easy to do
Oh, yeah.
and to actually
Gotcha.
get through that
Yeah, yeah,
game.
yeah. 4, number 4. Sorry, there's so many.
Yeah, for
So yeah,
4. Yeah, sorry.
I
I
lost
know I
track.
keep going. I went from 5 to Vice City to
Yeah.
4. uh, but Vice City, what I was really getting at was I waited because I don't know if y'all remember when Definitive Edition
Mm,
came out. There was like all this hubbub about
it
all the
was bad.
glitches and
It was pretty
problems.
bad.
Yeah, I beat 3 without any problems, but from what I heard, 3 was like the
Yeah.
best one. I think it probably because it had the least variables because it was the smallest. It was their first into the 3D realm, so there wasn't as much to do.
Mm,
So I didn't have very many problems, and I finished it. I hit credits, and I did all the side missions, and then I started Vice City, but then I started having these really weird physics problems where like cars would start just speeding up really fast, like randomly. Like I remember standing in the street and this all of a sudden like this car just like a million miles an hour hit me and I
that
just
sounds
fly across the
awesome.
map. It's like
I mean,
what
crazy,
what
but
is
that sounds
what is
great.
happening? Not only that, but I had the same thing with a car too, because there was some physics issues with cars would be the same thing. It would like for some reason like the weight of the car would just drop, and like you would get hit and you would just shoot into a wall.
That's
And
terrible.
it happened a couple times before. I was like, I'm gonna put this game down,
Yeah.
and we're gonna come back when we get some updates here. And they've had like 6 updates now, and from what I've understood, we're at the point we're at the point where people are finally saying that these are probably the best way to play these games. Finally, like you could get better graphics with mods and stuff, but the controls in the games are much better
Yeah.
because of the GTA 5 controls. Uh,
That's
I've been
good.
playing Liberty City Stories, and those
I didn't
controls are
realize that was
very
on
clunky.
there. Or is that
It's on the PSP.
so
It's on the
that wasn't
PSP.
part of the definitive like
No,
collection. Okay.
I bring it up because I've been playing on my PSP, but the controls are pretty clunky, compared to
Oh,
the the
well,
the
yeah.
PS5 ones I've been
You
playing
only
with
got one
Vice City,
stick.
because they've yeah, you only got 1 stick, which is a rough thing. I haven't played it on PS2, but I imagine it's pretty clunky. I can't imagine it's even close to GTA 5
No,
controls.
there's no
I'm
way.
pretty sure GTA 4 was similar, the same controls, because I think GTA 4 and GTA 5 are not much different. I'm pretty sure it's like the
Yeah,
same
it
uh
like engine.
same uh engine, yeah, the same engine and everything. I think it's the same stuff, which is why I'm kind of hesitant on getting a PS3 because I'm like, they might they're probably going to come out with a definitive edition for it, and it's
Hmm.
going to be much easier for them to upgrade that than it is the old games. So maybe I should wait until they come out with a remastered version like the GTA
Well,
5 version, uh,
yeah, for
and try
Liberty
that.
City Stories specifically, or four.
No, this is sorry. This is I know all over the place. 4 GTA
Yeah,
5 GTA
yeah,
4
it might be
with
worth waiting
Nico.
for. No, you know what? I would get it because it's so cheap. Like those games aren't
It's pretty
expensive.
easy to get.
Yeah,
I found it for $20 pretty easily, if not
you could
less.
probably get it for less.
That's CIB
S-
with everything
That's a
into it. And I even thought about just like
complete
reaching out to you, and it's
complete
like,
box.
I know you're like buying and selling games. If this one falls into your lap, let me know.
It just might.
uh, but yeah, because I know you've been. I don't know how you're doing it. I don't know, but I'm imagining you're buying a lot of games like wholesale
Yeah,
or something.
yeah, yeah, in
You're buying
bulk,
like boxes or bundles,
tons of bulk.
and then piecemealing them.
Yep.
Which is how you make that's how you make money,
Yeah,
is you buy
that's
them when people will just unload, and then you sell them
that's
piecemeal.
what that app does. Like it just allows me to have inventory because with eBay everything just sits for 2 months, and so I don't have the literal room to store that many games and have them sit. With the Whatnot app, I can move inventory like within a day or two. So yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah,
Wh-
with one
Yeah.
exactly. That's what I figured. So I figured that you'll just be shuffling through
Oh yeah.
uh
I'm picking up some stuff tomorrow.
inventory. So if I gave you a couple things to look
Dude,
for, you might
I
stumble
I
across
could.
it.
I've done that for a couple customers already. Like I kind of yeah, just
Oh,
worked out a
really?
deal.
Just on
Yeah,
the
well, you
side?
know what happens is like I'll be buying a group of games, like a lot from someone on eBay or whatever, and I go, "Oh, I noticed you have this one. Throw it in that bundle for an extra, $50, and I still get a deal on it, and maybe I make 10, 15 bucks selling it to someone, but that's still profit. So I'll keep my eyes open for that one for you. If I
Okay.
come across it.
Yeah, we'll have to check it out. If you see a good deal. I'm watching one on eBay right now that's like but that's a sealed one, so I
Ooh,
have a feeling it's gonna skyrocket. So,
it might.
but it's a red case. I don't know. Is that
Yeah,
cheaper, or that? I feel like the red case is cheaper because it's like the what
greatest
are they
hits.
called? Premier edition.
It's usually the greatest
Yeah, greatest
hits.
hits
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah,
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 yeah.
exactly. I think it's one of
Unless
those
it's
ones. Yeah.
Nintendo, and Nintendo's still just stupid expensive. So
Still just stupid expensive Nintendo.
yeah, their all their
Nintendo.
players' choice stuff is still just expensive. So, but yeah, everything else is it does take a hit.
Yeah, they still whatever. But anyways, I just want to go through that because I've been having a great time with it. It's a fun experience. I'm enjoying it. Even GTA 5, I recommend if you haven't played it, grab it for $10. I mean, you're not giving too much money to the beast. Uh, you get a good
That's
game
how
out
they
of it.
get you.
Uh,
But
but that's all for
I
me.
love that you get into like series, man, and you really just go for it. That's cool. And like you actually go through it. Like I'll
Yeah.
buy the games, but I never play them. Like I got a whole series of games that I don't
I
haven't played.
GTA has really sucked me in recently because I beat 3 and I started Vice, and I just wanted another GTA game like really bad. And then they released the $10 5, and I was like, I'm getting it. There's no question about this right
Yeah,
now. I'm
yeah,
buying it. And so I
yeah.
just went and
That
got it,
timing,
and I loved it. And then I saw they had like 6 updates for Vice City, so I was like, well, time to go
right?
back.
Yeah,
Let's go. So yeah, I've
they're
been having a
doing
great
something
time.
right. Obviously, that's probably wasn't a
Yeah.
coincidence. They're like, hey, while we're fixing this other game, in the meantime, buy this really cheap version of our newer game while we fix the old ones. And yeah, they're doing something right over there. Clearly,
I didn't even think about that.
yeah. Oh, hey, man, they
I
got a
didn't even
whole
think about
team.
that.
You
That's
They got a
awesome.
whole team of people working on just marketing. You know they,
Yeah, that are just
yeah.
marketing because Definitive Edition came out at the end of last year, right? They're trying to beat the Christmas, right? They're trying to beat
Mm-hmm.
Christmas
Yeah, that's
because
right.
it came out like in October or something, and then they're like, oh well, the physical version's not coming out until da da da, which is going to be like in November or something before Christmas.
Right.
So they're expecting like people to go out and buy those for Christmas presents. And from what I understood, I mean, there's another rumor that GTA 5 was actually done, but they moved it because they didn't want to conflict with the definitive edition
Yeah.
at the
Right.
time.
Yeah. You
So then they
compete
waited
against
until a couple months
yourself.
later.
That's silly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
That's
they
cool.
also, but it's who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows
That's
what
all
they're up to? But
speculation. But
they know what they're
I
doing.
mean, they're doing something right.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that'll about do it for us, though. I think we had a good cast here, and we'll have to see y'all next time. So, you want to say anything else, Kyle, before we head out?
Uh, love you guys, and you miss you, Tomas.
Yep. Shimasu. Have yourself a good moon night. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I like it. You